Youyou Kengeki Musou, also known as Enchanting Swordplay Reverie, is a top-down hack-and-slash based on characters I don't recognize from a thing I don't recognize. It features linear progression, an addictive combo system, stellar boss fights, and really hideous visuals, like distractingly hideous. At its core, the game is split cleanly into two styles. Firstly, you've got your hop-and-slash exploration, wherein you delve the depths of the nearest dungeon or glade, solve mazes, nab optional power-ups, and accumulate score. The enemies don't pose much of a threat, but they are suitable obstacles for those unfamiliar with the genre, and to a veteran, they're incredibly satisfying cannon fodder, allowing for some pretty poetic high-energy action chains which require surprisingly little effort. They also teach you, quite essentially, to be aggressive at every opportunity. Don't just look for opportunities to strike, make them, and make them hard. Oh, and for what it's worth, the platforming here is tight, satisfying, and gets just as much exploration as the combat. The second style of gameplay is boss battles, and it's where the real meat lies. These climactic stage-capping brawls are something of a brutal ballet, with both you and your foe erupting into a deluge of shiny anime attacks, trying to outdo one another. And your enemy may have the advantage in sheer sparkle, but not in mobility. They're almost always open to attack, and just as you've been taught earlier, maximum aggression is maximally optimal. Using special moves which are tied to a cooldown meter, you can close gaps, assault directly, defend, and even retreat. Spending them carefully is the key to your success. When the bosses are, rarely, invincible, it's exclusively to show off their fancy bullet patterns, which are as enjoyable to dodge as they are to witness. It's cool to see a different style of gameplay translated so flawlessly to hack-and-slash sensibilities. Unfortunately, all this exceptional design is dragged down by a slew of technical and pacing problems. The aforementioned obnoxious visuals are the primary culprit here. There are so many high-fidelity, high-definition lighting and graphical effects on display. These were seemingly included without any regard to how they look or how they might affect the game's performance. They also obscure enemies oftentimes and clash quite terribly with the simplistic art style of the characters. It's surreal, and not in a good way. But you've also got completely vapid story with juvenile dialogue, terribly inconvenient checkpoints, and the game just goes on a bit too long. Granted, it is obviously meant to be replayed, and the skill ceiling is impressively high. It's possible to plow through the game insanely fast, and you don't need any real tricks, just patience. I guess, is Youyou Kengeki Musou a good game? Yes, absolutely. But was I utterly done with it when I was done with it? Also yes. I do also find it funny that folks compare the game to Ys, as a side note. They're really not that similar. If you're looking for a Toho game with more clear Ys inspiration, check out Scarlet Curiosity. Wait, actually, Scarlet Curiosity seems to be a successor to this game. That makes a lot of sense.